Good afternoon, San Antonio. Thank you for tuning in to the Horribly Good Guys. We're going to play the theme song right here.
Okay, yeah, now people can hear us. Yeah, whatever was going on before, nobody heard that shit
They
anyway.
ain't hear
so,
shit.
Yeah.
I was dropping gems.
Let me turn that down because I don't need that shit.
What up, world? It's Sway. No. Just take all the other good fucking...
New Joe.
Yeah, right.
Shit.
Take all that shit.
You still listen to Joe?
Yeah, I was listening to him. It's hard.
Yeah.
Sometimes, though, because like on some particular events that we'll probably touch on this pod, I'm like, man, I wonder what they say about that.
I once I stopped listening, like I'm like, it's hard for me to get back in it. I've been riding with Rory and Maul's pod. It's a hard listen, dude. It is a hard listen. Like, sometimes they just have, and I recognize that when Nate's here, right?
Yeah.
Sometimes they just have conversation that.
It sounds like conversation and like not like a podcast.
No, but sometimes they have a conversation amongst like with them, right?
Oh yeah.
Like it's some shit that they did, and people tell me and Nate that all the time. Like we'll be podding and we'll start like reminiscing about some shit or talking about some shit, and people be like, oh, like that whole pod was like all inside jokes. I'm like, oh, it was probably all inside jokes because that's all we got. Before we get started, man, theme song here. Yeah, we'll put the theme song here.
Some other new podcast.
No, I may not even put the theme song in there. I'm just gonna let you do that.
Hey, I'm with it. No shame.
Yo, so what's good, fam?
I'm good. It's been a busy week. The semester's over, so that's cool.
Shout out to Professor.
Shout out to the students not having to see them again, and if I do see them, they don't know me. So
Okay, that's how that works.
that's how it works. I'm like, nope, you got your grade. This interaction is over.
Gotcha. Where you at? Where you teaching?
Palo Alto.
Okay. I knew you. I thought you were, but I wasn't sure. So
now I have like a month off, which is like that crazy thing, because like all my other friends have regular jobs.
yeah, we have regular jobs.
Yeah. And I just be sleeping till noon and stand up watching Black Adam and like.
I'm gonna ask you a real question, dude.
Yeah.
Let's go back. I'm gonna take it back like 20-year-old Rooster.
Yeah.
Did 20-year-old Rooster want to be a college professor?
Oh no.
Okay.
Like, I think 20-year-old me thought like it was cool. Like, but I had no idea how to get there.
Okay.
So I'd like just kind of, I don't want to say I stumbled into it, but it definitely was like, oh okay. And like when I saw the door open, I was like, oh yeah, I'll definitely do that. You mean I only have to like teach 4 hours a day, and then the rest of it's just like, fuck all? Like, I'm like, that's great.
I don't know what college professors do, so
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
And then you go to a lot of meetings and stuff, and that's it. Answer some emails. It's very chill.
shit. Okay.
Yeah, like my day be over by like 2 p.m. Like you can't. I swear. And what's funny is when I'm with other professors and they're like having a hard time with the job and they're like frustrated and like, oh my God, Bruce, like it's just they're sending us these emails and it's horrible. I'm like, man, I work security, 12-hour shifts, 7 days a week in the cold and rain and heat and mud. Like, you really, I have an office.
You got fired for cats.
I did get fired for cats.
You got fired for cats. Like, I'll never forget. Huh?
Yeah, when I was working in insurance.
Yeah, I'll never forget that you got fired for looking at cats.
Googling
like, that's
cats.
hilarious.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got fired for Googling kittens
Yeah.
on company time. Because I needed to be at peace, man. It was a hard job. Just like, man, insurance been killing you in your mind. You're like, oh. And I was like, I just need to see something that's going to bring me joy.
You know what? Like, I've been in, like, I'm going to say this on the pod. It's really weird because I don't tell people this, but I've been in insurance for a long-ass time, right? But I found that zen space where, like, yeah, I do insurance, but I don't do insurance.
Nope.
Like, and I legit don't tell people, like, when people say, what do you do? I pod.
But you don't be like in the office space, right?
Nah, I'm in the field. But I've done office space though. Yeah. But I'm in the field now. I'm 100% in the field. Like,
if I was in the field, I might have still been in
Yeah.
insurance.
I've done office space. I
can't be corporate.
I've worked for USAA.
Not sponsored.
No, not sponsored. this is not a sponsored ad at all. Where I quit. I quit USAA like just like
You was like, I'm out.
fuck it, I'm out.
Right.
I worked for
That's right, because you and Alex used to work there at the same time.
yeah. And when I left, I just left. I worked for a small insurance company in Georgia that I got fired from.
For Googling cats.
No, I wasn't Googling. it's really weird because I never know why I got fired, but it worked out in my benefit. Like, me getting fired actually put me in a position to get a better job.
No, yeah.
So it's a weird, like, damn, I got fired, but the glow up was good, right? Like, is he? I wonder if Jim's on here. Oh, Jim's on here. Yeah, I work for Jim. Jim,
Why'd you fire him, Jim?
Right, but Jim didn't officially fire me, but I got fired. But it was a weird thing because I get fired, and I would have never applied for the company that I went to because I had no reason to, right? So I get different company, work for Nationwide, but I was in the field.
Yeah.
And when I was like, oh wait, I can do this job in the field, it
changed everything.
I can't even do office stuff no more. Like, I look at office work and be like,
get me out of this cage.
Yeah.
What is this cage?
This is nonsense.
Yeah, right.
Because
I agree.
Field work is weird though, because like what I do in the field is it has its moments. Because like when we're really busy, like I've had days where I'm working like a 14-hour day, right? Where literally I leave here, and because my territory is so wide, like I'm here to Victoria to Corpus back to San Antonio, runs me about a 14-hour day.
Right.
I get home, I'm beat.
Yeah.
And then the next day, I literally wake up at noon.
Yeah.
Like,
See, and like in a weird way with like, it's like, I don't know, like I couldn't be corporate, and like I knew I couldn't be corporate before I was corporate.
Yeah.
And then when I was in corporate, I was like, oh, fuck this. But it was like, it's like, and if you're in corporate America, shout out to y'all who are surviving. Our thoughts and prayers are with y'all. Stay up. If you're listening to this tomorrow and you're at the job and this is getting you through, know that our hearts are with you. You need to escape. You need to immediately, but don't get fired. But no, like when I did corporate stuff, it was just like I couldn't stand it. I couldn't stand the little meetings. It could have been emails, the pizza Fridays, the cupcakes for every single body's birthday, to 5-year anniversary of Flo who been there. And,
right.
I'm like, man, and I just couldn't stand being there from 8:30 to 4, and then it's the commute home, and it was bad.
Speaking of people listening to this at work, I don't have it on this phone. It's actually on my computer. I'm not going to get my computer. Actually, no, I'm going to get my computer.
All right. So for the people at work right now, if you're on the job right now, watching us on Facebook, first off, shout out to you. Fuck the man, and watch this show on company time, get paid. Listen to this show on company time, get paid. Cash them checks.
We back.
All right, we back.
We back. Only reason I'm doing this is because this is show related, which is some good shit. See if I can get it to open up. Oh, this isn't the whole shit. Damn it. Oh well.
So it's not on the laptop.
Yeah. You know how if Spotify does a year-end wrap up
Right.
for like if you're on Spotify. So this pod is on Spotify as well as other platforms. But Spotify gave us a wrap up of the pod.
Oh, yeah.
So shout out to y'all because we increased in almost every metric, right?
There are so many other podcasts y'all could be listening to.
No, dude.
That y'all might even be listening to, but at some point in time, you're like horribly good guys.
We landed in the top 10. This pod landed in the top 10% of content and landed in the top 10% for what's considered a news pod because we cover current events.
Right.
So a news pod, we landed in the top 10% for content and top 10% for growth. And I'm like, oh, shit.
Look at this pod growing.
People are listening to this shit.
Pod growing. That's awesome.
Yeah, so shout out to y'all, man. I meant to bring that up before when I saw it. I was like, oh shit, I got to talk about this on the pod, and I forgot about it, and it's not on the board clearly.
But we here now.
We here now, man. Let's
get the people what they need.
Let's get this shit started. We didn't do a whole lot of pre-show, so you don't know where we're starting. But I kind of want to talk on this side of the aisle. Let's talk about all things Kanye West. No, you can't.
College dropout.
You can't check
sensational.
out.
Late registration could have been better.
Let's talk all things Kanye West. Okay.
You know, we all thought he was just gonna be a producer, not really much of a rapper. Came into his own with the third album, Homecoming, and then really solidified it with My Beautiful Dark Twisted Fantasy.
I agreed. I think his career really went on this arc of like college dropout. When it dropped, it was like, okay, what is this gonna do? And then it kind of just late registration was not as good, but it just every album from college dropout got better. Right. It just kept getting better and better and better.
So I want to talk about Kanye without talking about Kanye like this. I'm gonna throw you a question.
Okay.
Do you think that in 2020s, up till now 2022, that a large part of the problem is, and this isn't even Kanye, this is also like the Kyries of the world, the Kardashians, a lot of famous people, is that they don't know how to be celebrities like they used to back in the day. Because I feel like we're in this weird space now where celebrities are just, they do this. It's like you have to do like kind of wild. That's why you have even billionaires like Muskie dropping 44 on Twitter to just own a platform so he can, you know what I mean? It's like everything, it's just different. Whereas like back in the day, you would just go on David Letterman, you would just talk, and then you would go to maybe like some parties, be mixy, be on some magazine covers, and you call it a day.
Okay. To add, I think that there is, we don't talk about how new social media is, right? Like social media is new. Like we've grown up
pre-social media.
Let me say this, because I mean,
Yeah,
I know how old you are.
Yeah.
You were around pre-internet.
Yeah.
Like, and not just around, like
Right.
you were in the world
It wasn't there.
doing shit.
Yeah.
Pre-internet.
Right.
So social media is new for everybody, right? Like it's a new thing for everybody. Like, and so I think that yet celebrities are trying to figure out how to still be celebrities. I have said this. I think within the black space at least, like Beyonce and Jay-Z may be the last superstars.
I think you're right.
Because they're very selective on what the world gets. Everybody else is like, nah, hear it. And everybody else almost needs to feel they need to give you everything. So, yeah, I think that celebrity is in a weird space because they don't know how to be celebrity. They don't know how to just do Letterman and the other side of that. Because everything moves so quickly, if you don't stay in people's faces, they forget about you. Because I'm going to ask you this. If I asked you right now today, to name the best album, we'll go rap. Best rap album ever. You would say
Best rap album ever.
ever. Just throw out.
Enter the 36 Chambers.
Okay. If I said name the best rap album that dropped this year.
Kendrick. I don't even know the name of that album.
Right. You see what I'm saying though?
Yeah.
Like, Into the 36 Chambers, you know, because that you had time to sit with that album.
Right.
Even when it dropped, you were like, yo, I'm listening to track by track. But now music will drop and it'll be hot in the moment. And a week later, something else will drop.
Right.
And we'll forget about, because I forgot Kendrick dropped this year.
Yeah.
I also didn't like Kendrick's album. I'm gonna just say it. Did you hear the new Nas?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh, I should have said King's Disease 3.
King's Disease 3.
Yeah. King's Disease 3 is my personal favorite.
Yeah,
but-
King's Disease
But
3.
like that's the thing though too is like we don't even really digest music the same now. Where it's like King, in my opinion, King's Disease 3 is the best rap album that has come out this year.
In my opinion, King's Disease 3 is Nas's best album ever.
Ooh, no.
Yeah.
I can't go that far.
I can go that far.
You can make the argument,
I
and
can-
I can see the argument.
I can,
I'm not going that far.
And you know why? I can make the argument, and you can see the argument, but nostalgia won't let you.
No. It's because I would still probably put It Was Written, which is its own controversial pick. I think that's his best album.
Oh, okay. We'll have this conversation. We'll say this for Wednesday.
Right.
Wednesday, this is the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay. But yeah.
But yeah, celebrity is all messed up now. That's why like you have to be a brand and you got to be in everyone's face.
Jim
and
said
all
Beatles' White Album.
was what?
Greatest album ever?
Oh, greatest album ever? Hell no. Beatles suck. I said it. Sorry, Jim. Actually, I'm not sorry. The Beatles suck. They were always behind the curve. They were just copying what was popular. And then they could write a jam. I'm not gonna say it, but nah.
I've never been a Beatles fan. Like I've never paid attention to what the Beatles do. Like I know Beatles songs, but I think I think what has changed was back in the day, celebrities dictated what was hot. Celebrities dictated what was hot. Michael Jackson put on a jacket with a bunch of zippers, and then that became the thing everybody wanted.
Right.
Today, the culture tells celebrities,
Do this.
this is hot.
Right.
And so celebrities are like, yeah, I guess I got to put on this jacket with zippers because this is what the culture is now saying is hot.
And I think in a weird way too is like we also live in this weird space where in Kanye, going back to Kanye, I don't even want to know what he said.
Jim said,
Oh, that's
yeah,
fair.
yeah. You got three of these. You
That's
got
fair.
you got three fuck yous.
Rolling Stones every day. Anyway, Hey Jude is overrated. Anyway,
Oh, wow.
Is Kanye also kind of tried to influence the culture and did the culture with things like Yeezy shoes? And we were talking about Yeezys like a month ago or something like that. And I started thinking about it. It was back when he first started his whole anti-Semitism shit.
Yeah.
And it was like, should we get rid of like the Yeezys that we have or whatever?
Right.
Like toss them out. And I started thinking about it. I've never thought Yeezy shoes were actually like nice looking shoes
Yeah, me neither.
ever. And then the newer ones, they look like insulation foam and shit.
Yeah.
But it's this weird thing where it's like he may have been one of the last people, like artists, who also influenced people to go out en masse and go do those kinds of things like you were
Right.
talking about.
Right.
And I think that's why this is like so controversial that he's like out there and just self-destructing.
Yeah. So I think part of my so the space that Kanye is in now, I'm gonna say it. It's not funny. Let me say this.
Sure. There's parts that are funny.
There are parts that are funny.
Well, because see,
There are
now-
parts that are funny.
because he kind of brings that on himself. Because what's not funny is watching someone self-destruct.
Right. Okay. Right. Watching someone self-destruct is not funny.
Right.
But watching someone say, "This guy, I caught this guy with my wife," and it's just a picture of Chris Paul, is fucking hilarious.
hilarious.
That is hilarious. Like
Right.
for so many reasons.
A
Like
lot. With no further context.
right. He also said that Drake smashed Kris Jenner
Yeah.
with no context. Just like this is a thing. Like
I blame Chris Humphries from the New York Knicks. Because if he had been a better husband, he'd have stayed with Kim this whole time.
Okay.
And we wouldn't even be here.
We would still be here.
Yeah, we would.
But yeah, Kanye would have just found somebody else to make this rant about.
Probably.
Yeah, but yeah, I'm gonna say this out loud publicly just so it could be out there. If I'm ever just chilling, minding my business, and somebody tweets, "I caught my wife with Paul,"
right?
And I'm in a happy marriage, like I'm married, right? Like I'm married. Me and my wife are good.
You're working.
Yeah.
It's the NBA season.
Right. I might go fight them. I might take off work and go fight. Like, yo, I need 2 weeks off or a week. I need a few days off.
Here's my question. Do you think, because you and I have had a different conversation that we can bring up now, which is we don't really believe Kanye can fight or has ever really been in a fight.
Yeah.
Do you think he kind of want to catch the fade?
Ooh, do I think he wants to catch the fade? No. You know what I think he wants? I think he wants somebody to run up on him. Because dudes who can't fight oftentimes think they can fight.
Especially if it's not been tested.
Right. Right. If your fight has never been tested, then you think, oh, I got hands. Because no one's ever tested you. So he invited Boosie to a fight. He invited Meek Mill to a fight recently.
Yeah.
Like he's invited Puffy to a fight recently. Like, run up on me. And there's kind of the caveat of, yeah, you can't run up on him because now.
And not just that, it's the caveat of like, it's that weird thing of like, you know that they won't run up on you, not because they can't whip your ass,
right?
But because you know that they can't, like, just the rules dictate that they just can't run up on you.
Right. So there's that, right? There's the.
It's like, oh, like when they're talking shit and the teacher's right there, and you're just kind of like, you know, instigating it with the bully or whoever.
So, on to the Kanye recent. First of all, he's on Alex Jones with a full-on face mask on. I'm gonna say this. I had this conversation, and I was gonna say it on the pod. I've said this a couple of times. Kanye needs a spokesperson, a somebody to speak on his behalf, not him talking. Because I can make the argument. I can say to you right now, like, no person is 100% evil. I can say that, right? And if I make that argument, I can stand on the argument that no person is 100% evil. And that argument is the argument itself. If I just came out and said no person is 100% evil, and then you
can get away with it.
Right. And then you turned around and said, well, what about Genghis Khan?
Right.
And then I said, well, yeah, he was a bad guy, but he also did this, this, and this. And then somebody go, okay.
He did a lot for real estate.
Right. Then you go, okay, I see where your point is. So if I say the guy, shit, fuck it. If you say, well, what about Hitler? And I say, well, he created highways.
Yeah.
And whatever. Yeah. Then you're like
BMW
and BMWs. But if I say
we see you BMW.
But if I come out and say Hitler created the modern highway, then you're like, okay, I can justify the original statement of no person is 100% evil.
Right.
But when I come in with the Hitler's
you know what's weird though is I feel like that wasn't the bomb. Like it was bad. The way he said it, it was really the no, I like Nazis.
Okay.
That was the part.
Yeah.
Where it's like, wait, what? Like you can't. Yeah, you can't. Who's on par with Nazis? KKK. Who else? Like you just can't say that.
You know what's funny? Like to say that I like Nazis, realizing that most Nazis don't fuck with him.
Yeah.
Like.
That's the other wild part.
Yeah, right. Like you can't say. I mean, you can like who you want to like.
Right.
But he's like, I like Nazis, and they were like, but
don't listen to you.
Yeah, like they're not your base.
Your endorsement means nothing to Nazis
at all, at all. So yeah.
To the old Nazis who are dead and burning in hell, and the new Nazis who suck ass.
Yeah, none of them listen to Kanye.
Yeah. Well, they're going to listen to Horribly Good Guys because we just said they all suck.
I don't care. Shit, what you
No,
want?
yeah.
Yeah.
Hey,
Like, I'm
Spotify,
not trying to. Yeah, I'm not. I don't give a fuck.
Be clear on that.
But the idea behind what you said earlier about celebrity not knowing how to celebrity, I don't know that that's Kanye's issue though.
I think it is.
I think Kanye's issue is we are watching a man self-destruct in real time, and because he was a billionaire 6 months ago, it gives us access to his self-destructing. Like I'm gonna tell you right now, there's a lady who lives on my street who over the course of the last 2.5, 3 years since I've been in this house, I've watched her self-destruct. The neighborhood has watched her self-destruct, right? But it's not for public consumption. We see it,
Right.
and you know it's sad, but but the world doesn't see it.
Right.
But the world likes a train wreck.
Right.
So now Kanye is a fucking train wreck, and we're like, yo, this is.
Yeah.
Everybody says stop watching, but nobody has stopped watching.
Right.
Everybody's
that's a us problem. That's 100% a us problem. Because you could say the same thing about someone like DMX, and it was bad watching him self-destruct, and we just kind of like, damn, we don't want it to happen, but no one's really doing anything.
Right? No, it's definitely an us problem, but I think it's where we are, where the culture sits too much. Like dude, I hate reality TV. Like I refuse to watch reality TV because I'm like it's literally just watching people fall apart. It's watching people.
Well, because I think the trick of reality TV, and sometimes I think this is where we get it confused, is it's like you literally, in let's just say this space that we're in right now, if you grab some white dude from the middle of nowhere, Iowa, some like Asian person from Oakland, somebody from Florida, and you just put us in this room to just start talking some stuff, it's gonna get weird.
Right.
Because we all come from different places of the world. And
right.
Stuff like that. But now we've lived in this like entertainment 24/7, 365 culture where now you have like young people wanting to be brands,
right.
wanting to do their own like, marketing and whatever. And I think Kanye to me has also gotten to this point where it's like, you can't tell him nothing. I got this way being weird and thinking weird shit and blah, blah, blah. And he just kind of like kept going off the edge. And I don't know, like, who's going to save him?
We talked about this on the pod a couple of weeks ago. There was a report that came out that said kids now in America, the number one job is influencer. Like that's something they aspire to be. Kids want to be goddamn influencers. Right. And that is wild when you think about it. Yeah. Like, because what's an influencer? Like, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like what is a guy
even like in the back in the day, I remember when like saying like I wanted to be in a rock and roll band or a rapper was like weird. But at least you knew what that was. An influencer could just be anything.
Right.
It could just be like, oh, I fall on my face and just put it online and people think it's funny. So I actually talk about important issues.
Right.
To whatever.
And shout out to, the youth for creating the market, right? Like it's a market, but it's to me, it's not even, you know what? I'm going to say this. To me, it's similar to the podcast market. Like it's the Wild Wild West and nobody knows what it is. Like,
but a lot of people see it as a gold rush. That's why you have all these podcasts coming in and saying all kinds of wild
That's
stuff.
why we top 10, because there's a whole lot of podcasts that started and stopped.
Yeah.
And I keep showing up every goddamn Monday. Hey, y'all, it's been fun on this side. Thank y'all for rocking with us. We got a whole lot of shit to talk about on the other side. But make sure you like, subscribe, follow, I don't know, whatever. Push buttons, ring bells. The entire podcast will be up tomorrow on YouTube and Spotify, where we are trending. Shout out to us for trending, by the way.
Hashtag HGG.
Hashtag HGG. Rooster, you want to give out your socials on this side? Does it?
No.
Okay.
Y'all have a good day.
Any news you want to announce on this side?
Nah.
Okay.
I just came because you asked me.
Come out Wednesday. We'll be at Blah.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, peace out, bitches. We are back. We back. Shout out to us for being back.
Liquid Death Mountain Water. If you want to sponsor us, we are our DMs are open.
Our DMs
Murder
are
your
de-
thirst.
DMs
not
are
paid,
definitely
but
open.
that's how much we support y'all.
Oh shit. Yeah, man.
Let's get to the shits, man.
Let's get to the shits. Let's get to the rest of the shits.
I'm so over all of it. I'm telling you. That's what we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
Just saying, bro, I feel like it's the same shit for like the last month.
You know what?
Kanye's tripping. Balenciaga's weird. Trump's mad.
Right.
And saying stuff on his social media platform, and that only he's on.
Right. I mean, I agree. I think it becomes like this cycle of it becomes this cycle of selective outrage,
Sure.
but reacting to the outrage. Forever reacting to the outrage, right? Since you mentioned it, let's talk about it. I wouldn't start here, but let's talk about this Balenciaga shit.
Yeah.
So for those of y'all who don't know, ain't been keeping up, Balenciaga dropped an ad, and in the ad, they had children holding teddy bears, and the teddy bears were rocking some like BDSM type shit. Like the teddy bears had on like some leather face mask. One had on a ball gag, I believe. And then the kids didn't, but the teddy bears did. And if you do a deep dive into the actual images, they had some Supreme Court or some court documents that talked about things like one of the court cases dealt with pedophilia or dealt with child pornography, some shit like that. And so the ad dropped. People were hella outraged, as they should have been. Balenciaga has since distanced themselves from the ad company and sued the ad company, but then later dropped the lawsuit. They took the lawsuit back. They for whatever reason. Well, there are reasons behind it, but yeah, they took the lawsuit back.
Let me ask you this question.
Yeah.
For the people who buy Balenciaga a lot,
Right.
like live the Balenciaga life,
Right.
do you think this stops them at all?
Possibly, and I'm gonna tell you why. Possibly from the idea of
we just said BMW was founded by Nazis, which is true.
But no, but
and that ain't stop shit.
well, here's why I would say possibly, because I think that if they start getting backlash from wearing Balenciaga,
You think they're gonna get Balenciaga backlash? Like the individuals who live that life, who be like in that
well,
echelon.
Balenciaga has two markets,
Yeah.
like most high-end
Like
couture
Gucci,
does.
yeah.
It has two markets. It has the market of people who wear the Balenciaga that doesn't
Like
say
it's
Balenciaga.
Hanes.
Right,
Yeah.
right. Who their Balenciaga shirt may not say Balenciaga at all. They just know.
Yeah.
And then it has the market where you got on the Balenciaga shirt that has it everywhere so people can know that you're wearing Balenciaga.
Right.
That market, that sub-market of people who aren't wealthy but have disposable money, I think they will get backlash and they may stop wearing Balenciaga.
I can
But
see
the
that.
but the wealthy people that wear the Balenciaga Hanes, nah, it's
Yeah.
because I don't think they care enough about it, right?
Yeah. Do you think the ad hurt kids? Or
No.
did anything bad?
No,
Okay.
no, I don't. The ad, no.
No.
I think
I can understand outrage. I'll say this. I agree. I don't think that was bad. I didn't particularly care. I think it was like an attempt to be artsy and like weird and controversial.
right.
I think, but at the same time too, if there are people or parents who see that and feel a way, that's fine too.
No, right. But dude, okay. We live in a culture now, though, that everything will outrage somebody, right? Like everything.
Except Bruno Mars. He gets a pass.
I don't
For some reason.
I don't know
why.
that he gets a pass though.
Not from me, Bruno. Let me find
Because
out.
I think that everything outrages somebody, right? Like, no, you know what? Bruno Mars doesn't get a pass. I've seen outrage people saying Bruno Mars is a culture vulture.
Oh, that's true.
Like, I've seen that, right? Like,
Yeah.
Everything has.
Until he did Silk Sonic.
Yeah. yeah. Which was a really good album, by the way. That shit was a damn good album. Shout out to him and Anderson .Paak, but that shit was a good album. But it's like everything, there's a niche group, that will be outraged by anything that happens, right? Like there's somebody's gonna be mad that I said everybody's mad. Like there's somebody out there like, no, everybody ain't mad. Like,
yeah, that's true.
yeah, nigga, no, you mad that I said everybody mad. Like, and so in today's marketing space, shock and awe still gets you in the news, still gets you in the media, and you just kind of hope that when you do it, it doesn't come back and bite you in the ass, right? So a couple of funny things I think about the Balenciaga situation. First thing, I know a lot of broke people screaming, cancel Balenciaga. And I'm like, you can't even afford Balenciaga. Like, you can't afford real Balenciaga. You may buy some knockoff Balenciaga, but I've seen a lot of people. I'm like, dude, that's not even in your price bracket. Second thing, I'm gonna say this. Balenciaga has not made a single article of clothing that I looked at and thought, oh, that's dope.
Right.
For me.
Right.
Now,
a lot of that high-end shit, that's how I feel. Like,
right.
And then it could be the whole, like, well, you couldn't afford it anyway. But even if I could, it's like I was talking about the Kanye West shoes, like the Yeezys. I never thought they were cool. I was never going to buy them.
Dude.
I could afford them. I just never thought they were cool.
Afford. Can I afford a pair of Balenciaga kicks? Of course, I can afford them.
Yeah.
I mean, it may set me back a little bit, but I got a job, man.
Right.
Like I work.
Yeah.
I can dole out the money, but there's not a pair of Balenciaga anything that I look at and go, yo, that's the shit.
Right.
It's a name. It's a brand. It's buying the idea of wealth. And I've said that about a lot of high-end brands. Like, y'all ain't making shit to move culture. Y'all are making shit and putting a high price tag on it. Shit, with Black America, I tell people all the time, my biggest goal is to sell a $400 t-shirt.
Sure.
Because Gucci sells a $400 t-shirt. And you know what that shirt is made with?
Same shit that y'all
Cotton.
Yeah. Yeah.
It ain't even special cotton. It's just regular cotton, dog.
Yeah.
So, to answer your question, I don't think that the Balenciaga ad hurt anybody. I think it's an ad.
No, yeah.
It was an ad that they were hoping would create a certain level of buzz, and then it caught fire.
Right.
And with it catching fire, they was like, "Oh shit, no, this wasn't us. This was the ad company. Like, we didn't do it.
Right.
The ad company did it." And I heard somebody say this today, and I believe this: they sued the ad company.
Right.
The ad company, and then they dropped the suit, and a lawyer that I follow on social media said he believes that the suit was dropped because there are way too many steps in getting an ad produced and approved. There are way too many steps,
go back down.
and somebody at Balenciaga saw this ad and knew what the ad was about
and thought it was hot.
and thought, oh, let's push the envelope.
Right.
Somebody Balenciaga, because who goes out? Let's piece by piece.
Yeah.
You get kids for the ad. That's simple. You just hire some kids.
Right.
You put them in some outfits,
Right.
and then somebody says, "Oh, you know, it'd be dope if we got some stuffed animals and put them in BDSM outfits." Somebody had to approve that.
Yeah.
And then somebody said, "You know, it'd be really dope if we got some court documents, threw them around the room. Don't make it obvious, but make it so if people look up these ideas, they'll see what it's about." Because they could have gotten any court documents. They could have made up court
Brown
documents.
versus the Board of Education.
Shit, state of New York versus the state of New York. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
The loving case.
Right. No, or even fake documents though, right? Like Rooster versus Paul.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Just-
they know what they chose. Yeah.
right.
They know what they chose.
Somebody chose that, and in choosing it, somebody said, "Yo, let's run this by whoever we have to run it by." They ran it by them, and so Balenciaga can say all day long, "Yo, we want to distance ourselves from this ad company," but the reality is, somebody at Balenciaga knew what was going on.
Right.
There's no way you couldn't.
Yeah. Multi-million-dollar ads like that don't just sneak onto pages of shit.
Dude, I don't let people just promote shit about blah without running it by us.
Yeah.
You know I don't, cause
Yeah.
cause I made somebody shut their IG down.
Yeah.
Not their IG. What was that damn
whatever.
that playlist?
Yeah.
I made somebody shut a playlist down because they was like, "Oh yeah, this is the blah playlist."
Yeah.
No, it ain't.
Yeah. This is no affiliation.
Take our name off. Did you ever listen to that playlist?
No.
Did you ever see what was on it?
No.
Yeah.
It was bad?
Here was the problem. It was the history of the blah 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 poetry spot. Right? That's what the
Yeah.
playlist said.
Right.
But it was songs from like the 50s.
Oh.
Like it was songs that existed
Yeah.
before blah. Like it was just
Yeah.
it was like,
Frankie Valley.
yeah, and I was
That's
like,
weird.
what is this? Like, yeah.
Balenciaga, you fucked up. Hopefully you pay the price, and hopefully you keep manufacturing clothing that I'm not gonna buy anyway.
I think it's Balenciaga is one of those, this situation with Balenciaga, like, I think we've seen it before where companies try to create something viral, right? And that's all you're doing. You're trying to get a viral marketing pitch to go on. Remember the time Cheerios tried to have a biracial family?
I remember that.
And
Everyone was mad.
people,
And then that was the crazy part, is like, we're literally mad about just love.
right.
Like, you
People were
hateful
pissed off
bigots.
because Cheerio, or when who else
It was
had
like,
a fucked up
oh,
campaign?
It was like Campbell's Soup or something, had like the gay couple.
Oh, I missed that one.
Yeah. and
I remember Dove had the campaign where the girls were taking off their
Yup.
tops, and then they would be like different girls, and
yeah.
people were mad because
Like a black girl took it off and she was a white woman.
right.
Yeah. People be mad about, you're right. I mean,
People be mad about bullshit.
Yeah.
People be mad about bullshit, and I'm like, yo,
you got so much time in your day to do literally anything else.
let's talk about this. We
Like,
can get off
listen
this.
to the Horribly Good Guys podcast. Rising up the ranks of Spotify.
This is why I just say, yo, let's talk about this shit because I want to fake outrage or real outrage. I'm gonna tell you the story. All I wrote up there was Starbucks monkey.
Shit.
Hold on. Let me tell you where it happened because it all needs to be.
Can I guess? Is it in the United States?
Yes.
Is it in the southern United States?
Hold on. Let me hold on real quick. Let me get to it, the story, and then. All right. This is the story. You said southern United States.
Yeah.
Let me see where we are.
North Carolina.
Maryland.
Oh, yeah, no, they don't count.
That don't really count as southern, even though it's
Yeah.
Oh,
What about Virginia? Because Virginia, let's piss off Virginia right there. Shout out to VA. We like y'all. Y'all
Okay.
are awesome.
yeah, I know people in
Love
VA.
VA. But are y'all the South? Let's go there.
VA's not the South, dog.
I agree, man.
VA is
Sorry.
not the South. I don't
I'm
care.
never going to Virginia and be like, let me get some grits. Let me get some.
Oh, no, hell no. Yeah, VA's not the South. Like, I don't even know if I'd go to a Waffle House in Virginia. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm in Virginia, I'm not going to swing through a Waffle House and be like, oh, yeah, I'm at the Waffle House.
I'd probably be getting more like crab cake and like
Right. East
shit
Coast.
in Virginia.
Right.
Than Southern
I would
shit.
definitely try a cheesesteak in Virginia.
Right.
Right, like I'm in Virginia. Let me see what y'all's cheesesteak hit for. Yeah, I'm not going to Virginia and asking for any smothered anything. I don't want anything smothered in
Nope.
VA.
Not at
Nah. VA is East Coast, definitely East Coast. So in Annapolis, Maryland, and this is gonna take us down a path, but I kind of want to have a conversation.
All right.
A woman walks into Starbucks, and makes her order. They ask for her name, and she says her name is Monique.
Monique. Okay.
Monique. So cool. She gets her order, and the cup says, monkey. Now, Monique is black.
Yeah.
I just had to point that out.
Yeah.
Monique is black.
Yeah. Because it's problematic if I be like, well, now was she black? Yeah. So thank you for doing that.
Yeah.
For the assist.
Monique is black. And so Monique is outraged. Starbucks has since suspended the employee.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
As a non-black, you don't identify as black, do you?
No.
Okay, I want to make sure because that would be weird if I asked you this question.
No, that's cool.
Okay, let's first deal with Monique. Could it have been an innocent mistake?
Yes. And see, my question would be like, was Monique in a rush? Because, and what time of day was it is also important. Because listen, I have been at the blah 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 poetry spot on Wednesdays. Doors open at 8 p.m. Alejandro's St. Mary's Strip. And I'm talking to someone or meeting someone for the first time, and they're telling me their name like inches away, and there's just enough people there that I can't hear shit.
Right.
I've given my name, and I've gotten a lot of different, like Brewster, Booster.
I called Dorian for the first like 2 months that she came to Blah, and Dorian is not her name. But I called her Dorian for like 2 months straight because I thought that's what she said.
Yeah. So I could honestly see it as an innocent mistake. Now, do I think? I will say this though. This is the mistake part, not the mishearing of the name. Because, dude, at the same time, how many weird names have we heard?
Right.
Like we're friends with someone named Cuppy Cake.
We are friends with Cuppy Cake.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cuppy Cake too.
Yeah. Shout out to Cuppy, who's probably gonna listen tomorrow. But yeah, like so. Sometimes, like, I don't even think when someone says a name, I'm just like, oh, I think they said monkey, cool. It's 2023.
Right.
Like, whatever. And, like, and I'm working. Who knows how long my shift's been going. It could be a rush. I'm not paying attention to this shit.
Or, and I don't know the system, but if the system has an autocorrect on it and it has never seen Monique.
Ooh, I didn't even think that route.
And I type in MONQ. And it goes, monkey, boom, cool. Keep it moving.
Right.
Don't even look twice at it. This is why I asked you if you identified as black, though.
Sure. Monique's not black. It's a twist.
Plot twist. No, dude, I feel like black people, this is going to put you in a really weird spot.
I'm with it.
I feel like black people scream racism way too often. I feel like there are things that may happen that may be problematic.
Sure.
But I don't know if it's racist.
So.
What if the barista was Latino?
Oh, then it can still be racist.
No, it can't be right.
Yeah,
What if the barista?
Racist Latinos.
What if the barista was black?
Then he could just be a hater.
What if the barista was Asian and just couldn't hear well?
Yeah.
Oh, no, that's. I mean, Asians can hear well, but what if the
Just
barista?
out here starting new stereotypes.
Yeah, it's new stereotypes. What if the barista was Asian
Right.
with a really bad English to Asian translation in their head?
Yeah, they could have been Indian.
Yeah.
And I could see that. First, I do want to thank Starbucks for not finding the one black employee of that store and being like, hey, we need you to go on camera and say Deborah's not racist or whoever.
Okay, right.
So shout out to that, because that would have been a mistake 5 years ago that they did.
Right.
So let's go back to your question. Do black people cry racism too much in America that is founded off slave labor and stolen land? Those are just caveats I have to put out there before. I won't say that. I won't go that far because microaggressions are still racism. But I feel like let me flip it on you, because this is something that I have a conversation with a few times with some friends of mine who are black, and
You have black friends?
I got black friends.
How many?
I don't know. 'Cause I don't keep count.
Damn it! I tried to catch you up. Yeah. That was a catch up right there.
That's right. No, but the conversation had to do with African blacks versus American blacks, and how there's tension there.
Yes.
And how a lot of African blacks be feeling that black Americans like upset too much, whine too much, say racism too much, and at the same time don't really get like the benefits or whatever perspective of like you're an American and that shit's weird. And then the same thing comes from like immigrants as well, where like we see like immigrants see the black experience and the white experience as one whole American experience.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So that's why you have like Japanese rappers, in Japan dropping N-bombs because they just think they're rapping like Americans. Right. They don't see it as like a racial thing. I'm not saying it's right, but
But I'm not saying it's wrong.
Sure.
Go ahead.
Anyway. But I think what has to maybe change in some instances isn't just to say that, like, to your question, kind of coming back full circle, is it has. I think we're at this point, and now post-Trump specifically, and unless he comes back again, because he's running again, but is Black America, White America, Latino America, all America has to kind of like have. I think we have this like cultural problem right now.
I agree.
Where what the hell is American culture? Like we're not hot in these streets. America is not hot in these streets.
Nah.
We used to be.
We used to be.
We used to be a bad bitch.
Yeah.
We are not.
Yeah. We used to be a bad bitch for real. But you know what though? Okay.
Atlanta is the only city, and Houston are the only cities holding it down for the United States right now.
Let me say this.
Internationally.
Let me say. America. Ooh, fuck. I'm gonna say it. America is like a woman, in that when she's new, when nobody knows her,
we were new.
when nobody knows her, oh, she a bad bitch, and then
you start working with her for a couple years.
Yeah, you know, you start seeing her at the job, you start having conversation with her, and you realize, oh, she's dumb, or she's like you start seeing her flaws and her problems, and you go, yeah, like nah, she ain't really hold it down. Like we good over here. Right. I'm gonna keep my chick, because at least I know my chick ain't crazy and willing to elect fucking numbnuts. Side question, just because it popped into my head.
All right.
You only have two choices. You have to vote, but your only voting choices are Kanye West or Donald Trump. Those are your only choices. One of them has to be president. Who are you picking?
Wow.
You can't sustain. You can't abstain from the vote. You have to vote.
In my heart, I want to say Kanye.
Really?
I want to.
Okay.
But I feel like the argument against Kanye for me is, with Trump, you already know what you're getting.
Right.
So you can sort of like prepare, navigate, fortify, get the legal teams ready. Right. Blah, blah, blah. With Kanye, that's a crapshoot. Who knows what he could take us. He could turn the United States into like Dubai. I don't know, because he's on some other shit.
Right.
I mean, but he could also just nuke the country or something. I don't know. So fuck it. I'm gonna roll the dice. I'm gonna say Kanye.
Okay. Okay.
Just because the highs could be potentially higher. We could imagine music schools across America getting funded. And like have to teach like Kanye's discography. That could probably make America better on its own.
I don't know, dude.
That's a hard question.
I don't know. Like I'm gonna say, like, I agree with your assessment that we know what we're getting with Trump. Your assessment, we know what we're getting with Trump, but with Kanye, the highs may be ridiculous, but the lows may also be ridiculous. I'm going to push back a little. I don't know that we know what we're getting with Trump. I think if Trump gets back in office, he's unhinged
I think we
because,
know.
huh?
I think we know.
I don't think we know.
No, it's just fascism, man. And like, yeah, it's just pure fascism.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. With Kanye, we don't know if it's gonna be fascism or if he's just gonna like just take the Constitution like from the vault and like roll a blunt and smoke that shit.
Yeah.
And then like I don't know, like drop an album. Like,
Okay. Okay. I mean, I hear what you're saying. I'm not gonna. Shit.
he might do all kinds of wild shit. I don't see. I would never think Trump would do that.
I'm gonna say like if I'd probably go for the orange guy. I just don't trust Kanye. No, not to say that I trust Trump.
Here's you know what it hinges on, and maybe this is a follow-up question for another time. Who's their vice presidential candidate?
Who's their vice president?
Because if it's like Kanye and Consequence, I'm voting Kanye.
Oh, or Kanye and Romfest.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, right. If it's Kanye and like Mos Def,
He's getting it.
then he's
If it's
getting my
Trump
vote.
and Ron DeSantis, like no.
Yeah, no. Right. Okay. Yeah.
The VP matters.
Yeah, you're right. The VP matters. Even though this last VP is trash.
True.
VP definitely does matter. Anyway, back to the Starbucks bullshit, dude.
So yeah, I guess that's the question. Do black people cry racism too much? I don't know. I think it's hard because well, see, here's the other side to it, and I had a conversation with someone else about this, where it's like
You talk to a lot of people.
I do talk to a lot of people. There's this thing now where like Black America has also been very fortunate since like segregation and since to like have now reached echelons of money making and suburban living and generations that are now growing through that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? Your son never has to go through the 90s and like the epidemics and waves of all the shit that happened then, which is great. So it's like he's already at an advantage.
Side note, I gotta go to a Rod Wave concert.
Good luck.
Friday. Going to see Rod Wave.
So if Rod Wave was Kanye's VP, I might vote for him.
Anyway,
Anyway,
right.
But like, so sometimes, especially with like younger, under 30 even, Black Americans, sometimes racism is also viewed differently.
Right.
It's like they don't remember Rodney King.
Right.
I remember San Antonio when like being Black or Mexican, you just get your ass whipped by cops.
Yep.
Like it just happened.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, what happened? Cops, damn. Cops.
Yeah.
So, and there's a lot more accountability now and things like that. However, you still do have to kind of stay on racism, like apply pressure to it so that it doesn't fester and grow wild. But then at the same time too, we are also living in a time where we have literal neo-Nazis coming to power and white supremacy coming back.
Here's why I asked the question, because I continue to say that I think black people scream racism too much. But I say that because there are events that are actually racist, right? There are things that are, and I'm not, like, where it's rooted in racism, rooted in fear, rooted in misunderstanding. Like when Starbucks wouldn't let those two black guys use the restroom.
Right.
Like, that was a real issue. And that wasn't just something that was one particular store. What it was found out was some Starbucks keep their doors locked because they don't want certain traffic using the restroom, this, that, and the third. That's different than a barista fucking up somebody's name.
Right.
Now, had Shorty's name been Tiffany,
Then,
and she wrote Monique,
Yeah.
I mean, she wrote Monkey, then, right, Shorty's name been Jasmine. Well, then no, but Jasmine, Aladdin, Monkey, like I could see that, like, right. Shorty's name been like Jennifer, and then you write Monkey, like, there's. Can I make a correlation, Jennifer to Monkey? Let's see.
Jennifer Aniston, who is also on Friends.
On Friends,
they had a
pet monkey. Yeah.
Okay, I see it. Yeah.
Yeah. So,
Yeah.
But in that bubble, right? If every time a non-black person does a thing that a black person doesn't like,
Right.
and black people scream, "Oh, they must be racist." Then when you have real incidents of racism, it looks like, because it's said so much, we start going, well, yeah, but I mean, shit.
Let me throw it at you though. Is this space that we're in where that happens, like, you know, screaming racism for a lot of different reasons, is that also a symptom of a missing black leadership in America today?
Yes, but yes, I think that there's, and I'm gonna say this: it's not just black. I think every culture is missing. Every subculture,
That was the next part.
every American subculture is missing a leader. But if I'm being honest, I put that on social media too, because I think that I say this all the time. This is something that I say a lot. Like, I've probably once a year I write this on my socials. Social media, today's age, would never let Detroit Red become Malcolm X.
Yep.
Today's age would never let a pimp from Detroit become the leader of the Nation of Islam. Today's age, we wouldn't even let Martin Luther King do what he did.
Probably not.
Because
They call him a square.
he likes side hoes.
That too.
Like, you can't have side hoes and also lead the people out of through Jim Crow South
Right.
in today's day and age.
Right. No, I agree. I think leadership on a lot of different fronts is missing. And like, in the context of what we're talking about, like, yeah, having black leadership who could be, the problem I see, especially like just from the outside as a non-black person, is whenever situations like this happen, who does white media talk to?
Right.
Is always the thing I always look for, because see, the same shit happens to Mexicans, and that's even funnier because they just literally go to actresses. Like, there's this, you know, like the immigration problem. What do you think, Jennifer Lopez? Like, that's all we got.
I think they do it. You know,
but they go to like Charlemagne. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like,
I'm saying, like they go to Charlemagne. They go to like
maybe Mark Lamont Hill.
Right. I could think of them. Yeah. Like but
him.
you see that though. They never, like, there's no, what's your boy? I've said this. Even though I don't fuck with Sean King,
right,
I stopped shitting on Sean King because I'm like, you know what, Sean King is doing some work, and I can't shit on Sean King as a whole because he's doing some work. Even if I don't always like the work he's doing, I won't shit on him because he's doing some work. I felt the same way about the BLM movement, even though I didn't completely support the BLM organization because I had issues with the BLM organization as an organization. Like, I didn't.
I heard some of your thoughts.
Yeah,
I think it was interesting.
I didn't fuck with them as an organization,
Sure.
but I also didn't want to shit on them because I'm like, you know what? In certain sectors, y'all are out here fighting that fight, and if it helps liberate the people in that community, then I don't want to be the one over here going, but what are y'all doing with the money? Like,
well, let's talk about that, because see, I think that's an interesting thing exactly to that point, because two things. First thing is, and this is for anyone who is listening right now, dial in. Dr. King, Malcolm X, Cesar Chavez, a lot of these leaders of the 50s and 60s also knew how to tell their followers, while we're here and we're receiving these messages, be on the lookout for the ops, because they're always trying to infiltrate and they're always trying to put mixed messages and trying to get you to feel certain ways and blah, 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 blah. In the social media age, we don't have those conversations. But
Right.
that's one of the things, too, that I think hurts a lot of leaders, like the Black Lives Matter lady who ran it, and people were like, well, what about her money? She's spending all this money on multiple houses. One, she runs Black Lives Matter. Do you know the amount of death threats she probably gets on the daily?
No, right.
Like, and that's all I'm saying. So, like, that was the whole thing. Like, she's got this house way out in the middle. It's like, she can't live like everybody else.
Right.
Because she started a movement with many other people, and that's that. Plus, that's just kind of the nature of nonprofits, especially the more larger ones. They do the same thing to Susan B. Komen, where it's like, look, if you want to have a CEO that runs this nonprofit to be a successful enterprise, you have to pay that CEO like a CEO.
Right.
So, and sometimes I think that's
am I going to start getting death threats?
Probably.
I mean,
I'm surprised you haven't gotten them yet.
I'm surprised I haven't gotten them yet either.
Black America Clothing.
No, I'm talking about the nonprofit that we run.
Oh, yeah. Well, see, ours is low key. I thought Black America, that'd probably be the way. When you sell the $400 T-shirt, then you're going to start getting the death threats.
Maybe so.
Yeah.
But then they'll start looking at my past, and we'll probably go out of business shortly thereafter.
Yeah.
Question, just random question about your life as a human.
Okay.
In today's day and age of cancel culture, are you fearful of anything from your past?
No.
Really?
No.
Nothing?
No.
Wow.
Because I don't care. I've already had like the conversation with my head, like for what my press release is gonna be at some point. I've had that conversation.
Okay.
And it's not like it's if the funny thing is it's like I don't believe in cancel culture.
Oh, neither do I.
Two, the kind of like what I was saying, like I don't take it personal when strangers are mad at me.
Right.
Because you're strangers.
Yeah.
I don't care.
I think one of the benefits that I have is...
But it's the same thing when they love me. Like, whatever. Right. Like, if they love me for my artwork or whatever, I'm like, that's cool. I kind of don't care. Like, I appreciate it. I'm so appreciative. Like, I'm very, very appreciative. But y'all are strangers.
Right.
And the fact that I did something that, like, has affected you is a wonderful, beautiful thing in and of itself. I don't... Because some people take it too far. And they, like, the creators, the artists, they start thinking, like, that's real love. Or
right.
This, and that's a whole other mess. And I'm never that way. So if... anything I've ever said or done in the past were to ever come bite me in the ass, I could eat that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't. Here's what I'll say. I don't have anything in my past that I'm overly concerned about.
Yeah, that too.
But here's what I at the height of the Me Too movement, my concern was how the narrative got spun. Not the action,
right.
but how the narrative got spun, right? Because if you spin the narrative the right way, then I'm out here wilding. Like, yeah, I knew they were sisters, but oops.
Yeah.
You know, but if you spin the narrative the right way,
yeah.
I'm a creep.
Sure.
And so it's like, yo, do I talk about this here?
No.
I don't give a fuck. Yeah, it's I was married.
Yeah.
That's public knowledge.
Yeah.
Me and my ex-wife are friends. We're good friends. We are apart in age, which makes no big deal now. But one day she said to me, yo, when we met, I was yes, no, yeah.
But see, that's also part of the thing.
Right.
But going back to your thing about narratives, yes.
Right. But if you spin the narrative,
yeah.
Right? Like
right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But fast forward,
yeah, it's not even a thing.
It's not a big deal. Like, nobody care. Like,
yeah.
And I'm still gonna bleep that out.
Sure. It's your show, man.
Yeah, shit. Like, fuck it. We gonna just take this whole part out
that
anyway.
Whole anti-Semitic rant we just went on.
Boop. So yeah, I think, but back to, and the reason I put the story up here, honestly, because I felt like Shorty was. I understand why Shorty was upset. Like, you see the cup, it says monkey. You're like, yo, this is fucked up. It creates certain level of outrage, but I think it could have been handled with a conversation, not a news story. Right? It could have been handled with the, yo, what the fuck is this? And the guy or the girl who took the order said, oh, I'm sorry, I thought that's what you said. What is your name? Or, oh, I'm sorry, I typed it in, but
I'll give you a refund.
Yeah, like, I apologize. How do we fix this here? And in today's day and age, I think everybody's looking for a viral moment. So moments like this become, let me tell the news about it. Let me tell let me tell the world what this Starbucks did, especially because Starbucks has been in the news for other shit. Let me tell the world what Starbucks did. If Shorty's still going to Starbucks, then was she really outraged?
Right.
If she's still going to any Starbucks, was she outraged?
Right.
Because I to this day, don't shop at Walmart.
Sure.
I have said plenty of times.
And you were like, nah, no more.
No, I wasn't even leveling up. I was like, yo, the place is trash.
Sure.
Like as a company, they're trash. And so I decided, fuck Walmart. I'm not walking into another Walmart. Somebody asked me recently, we saw my Black American Clothing Company and the idea of selling out and money being offered. And I said, there is $0 that Walmart could offer me. There's no money that Walmart could offer me to buy the brand from me. There's no amount of money that Walmart could offer me to buy the brand. But that's because...
And if Walmart's offering that much, you probably got other offers.
And there's that too. Like I said that too. Like if Walmart's offering me that much, then they know something about the brand that I don't know. And maybe I need to look at who else can offer me something close to it or more. But in that being said, like... I took a stance on Walmart because of my outrage. I'm like, fuck Walmart. Yeah. Flip that. If Shorty was really outraged with Starbucks, is she still going to Starbucks? Right. Because if she's still going to Starbucks, she ain't outraged.
Well, I'm gonna throw her a little bit of bail. Like, this is just the tiny bail. I don't know her, and, you know, whatever. But, like...
But we can go to Maryland tomorrow.
We could go to Maryland tomorrow. Yeah. Virginia. Oh, yeah, no, it was Maryland.
Yeah, Maryland.
Is that, you know, it could have been a lot of things. It could have been her day. It could have been maybe it's one of them kid things where like her whole life it was, you know, kids picking on her like, oh, you're not Monique, you're Monkey, and blah blah blah. I don't know.
Oh,
and
I didn't even think about that, but right, yeah.
You know how kids be? They be horrible little shit.
Oh yeah, kids are trash.
Horrible.
Yeah.
So it could have been that, and then it just wasn't the day, and then she saw that shit, and it was just like, fuck all.
But again though.
But no, I hear you.
Not racism.
No.
Just
exactly
mistake.
And I think that's the thing about it too. I think in all of our outrage, sometimes we have to understand like a lot of different things. But I think the number one thing is like we have a responsibility to walk out into the everyday,
right?
Like with the understanding that we might just get hurt,
right?
And that's okay. You know what I mean? Like, I learned that lesson as a kid. Like, yo, there's bullies on the block. So if I'm out on the block when the bullies are on the block, I might get my kickball took and pushed down.
Right.
Or whatever. There's cars that'll hit me.
And the hurt doesn't have to be physical, though.
No, it doesn't.
Right. It could be emotional, right?
Some shit. It could be some whatever the shit. And at the same time, it's not saying I'm not giving all that shit a pass, but I think it does require us to be a little bit more resilient in how we accept the hurt that just exists naturally.
But you and I have said this before, like
kids.
We've gotten away from people getting slapped in the mouth too.
Yeah.
Like whereas I don't want to bring back bullying, I do think that we should bring back motherfuckers getting slapped in the mouth.
Yeah.
Like I think that it changes how people operate when they understand I might get popped in the mouth for this shit. Like somebody may actually run down on me and put hands on me because of the way I operate. And so then I operate just a tad bit differently because I recognize that if I hurt your feelings, you might fight me.
Yeah.
Right? Like so I move different. Not that I am fearful, but I just say, you know what? I don't feel like fighting today. I got on my yellow Crocs. Like, I don't want, to fall, get my ass beat in the yellow Crocs.
One of the reasons why I stopped going to clubs was because I loved going to the clubs where people would shoot at the clubs because those were the best clubs to go to.
Always best clubs.
And at some point in my mid-20s, I had this realization like, damn, if I ever got shot and died in the club, I would hate me. Like, I would be so pissed at myself that this is how I went out. Because I was probably dressed like I was really trying to like be the dude.
Yeah.
I was drinking too much. I was talking to too many people. What the hell was I doing?
You know what's fucked up? That's why I stopped fucking with married chicks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like same shit.
Yeah. Dead ass.
You just kind of realize like if I were to get murked by some dude's wife or husband.
Yeah.
Because this.
If I got murked by some dude's husband, that would be real weird.
Yeah.
But
And then it's just like, and then I started thinking like, how would people look at it? Like, damn, man, that's tragic. He was in the club, and it's like,
Right.
You know what? I didn't have to be there.
I-
And it's not, but again, and like again, I love those clubs. I love those clubs.
I would always
I miss
say,
those clubs. I miss them.
hey, you know, we could hit one up in another city though. Let's go to another city, hit one up.
Oh no, is that how you roll?
Yeah.
See, I would more do it at home. Than
Nah.
Nah.
You go to a different city.
Because in this other city, they be moving differently. It's like, hey, you walking left too much. You know what that means, right? And I'm like, no,
Here's
I don't.
what you do. You go to a different city. You pay for VIP. So you pay for VIP parking.
Right.
You pay for VIP in the club so you can get the experience, but you don't stay till it closed.
Right.
You get there
skate and leave.
11. One of y'all go get the car.
Yep.
When the car pulls up, the car's here. We all beeline to the car. We circle the block 5 times
That's right.
before we hit the hotel. Like, you know how to move.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fair.
It's not on the board, but let's talk about it because I know you know about it. The news report came out this week, 2 days ago, day ago, that primetime Deion Sanders is leaving an HBCU and going to the University of Colorado to coach. There's been some different conversations. Like you said, all these conversations are out in the world, so we're really just rehashing other shit.
Yeah.
But primetime going to Colorado, what's your thoughts?
So, damn.
First of all, before you answer that, is it racist?
That he's going to Colorado?
Yes.
The whitest college in America? Fuck what everyone thinks. It's not the University of Utah. It's not the University of Iowa. It is the University of Colorado is the whitest college in America.
I'm with you on that.
No, it's not racist.
Okay.
So a little bit of background for those who didn't know. One of the big key issues why people are upset about Deion Sanders leaving the HBCU is because when he got hired at the HBCU, he made an impassioned speech to a lot of, top tier high school football players, predominantly black, saying, come to the HBCU. This is where we need to be. The larger universities are kind of exploiting our talents, not really catering to us the way that we need spiritually, emotionally, holistically, and then took the check and left as soon as it hit the table.
Facts.
Primetime's gonna get an interception. That's all I'm saying. And must be the money. The guy who wrote "Must Be the Money" told you who he was in '95.
Facts.
I had no. I mean, I'm not surprised. Do I condone it? Absolutely not. If he was here, I'd be like, shame on you, Deion. But I get it.
So, here's what I said. Here's what I've been saying about the primetime situation. I don't have a problem with anybody taking better job, right? And better as in better pay, better facilities, like better visibility. I don't have a problem. Right now, you teach at Palo Alto. Yeah. If
UTSA calls me.
If UT Austin calls you and says, yo, we're going to give you 5 times your salary, plus make you a tenured professor, plus put your name on the side of a building.
Hook 'em horns.
Yeah, like I'm not gonna look at you and go,
damn,
yo, that's foul.
Right.
Here's my issue with Deion though. Just what you said. When he first got to the HBCU, he was screaming culture. Come here for the culture. Come here so you can see how you should be treated. Yeah, we don't have the same money. We don't have the same doctors on staff. We can't help you the way other schools might be able to help you. And in that, he asked these kids to lessen their visibility. If the number 1 recruit at the time was slated, I believe, and y'all can look this up and get the facts, the full facts, but he was slated, I think, to go to Florida. Decided to not commit to Florida and go to Jackson State. Now, had he gone to Florida, he would have been on TV every week because he would have been on one of the 3 big channels every week. CBS, ABC, NBC would have had his game every week. Therefore, he would have gotten high visibility from marketers, from the NFL, from anybody who had a check.
Yeah.
Deion said, yo, fuck that.
Yeah.
Come here. So the culture can show you how the culture should treat you. And he sold them on the idea of the culture. And the minute a check came, he was like, nah, I'm out.
And he's taking them with him.
Taking who?
Those players.
No, he's taking his coaches.
Well, then, no, but he's also telling a lot of those players, like, hey, yo, you should come with me to Colorado.
But and somebody else said that to me.
Yeah.
He cannot officially
yeah.
take them with him, right? He can say, hey, y'all come with me. But officially,
He can't just pick them up. And
he
take
can,
them.
he can't take them if they don't get into.
But if they're at that HBCU now without Dion or the coaching staff, why do they want to be there?
Right.
And
no,
where do you go?
And several players have
No, yeah,
decommitted.
yeah.
Several players have said, yo,
I'm out.
I committed to Jackson State. I'm decommitting. Recruiting is open.
Right.
And so he can go and recruit these players now and try to get them over to Colorado. But
And then they're gonna go to Colorado and get with a white woman. That's a fact.
that is a fact.
Yeah.
They're going to go to Colorado and get with a white woman.
Yep. That's
Which,
gonna happen.
okay, hold on, pause. I always say, like, I hate when people throw out the idea of, black men dating white women, but we date who we're around.
Oh, that's your take?
Dude, we date who we're around. Like, I believe that. Like, if
I do think that's kind of true.
if I
There's
go
some
to
truth to that.
If I go to an all-white school,
Or like actors, like there was a class of black actors, like I want to say like maybe Taye Diggs or like of that era.
Right.
Where you're a black man in an acting school. Guess who was not typically at those acting schools?
even if there are black women at the acting school, it's not a bunch of them.
Right.
And I'm going to say this. And it's going to piss some people off, but I believe this wholeheartedly. Like, depending on the space that you're in, right?
The space.
I've been this guy where I'm the black guy
Yeah.
at a predominantly white space,
Yeah.
and there are black women there, but those black women don't want to fuck with me because I'm the corny black guy because I'm in this space. They want to fuck with the black guys over there, the black guys who were,
Over there.
over there.
Over there.
So now all I got in this space are black women who don't really want to fuck with me and white women. I'm just saying, like, you fuck with who you around. Like,
It happens, man.
when I was
But we love black women.
oh no,
That's just a
hands
fact.
down. When I this is going it is what it is. Shit, I'm divorced. When I lived in Atlanta, the one of the companies that I worked for, when I first got to Atlanta, so it was whole company in my department. Let's say it was 20 women in the department. There were 2 women, black women, beautiful, and every black dude in the company was shooting.
Right.
It was Atlanta, so the white women just kind of were there, right? They existed.
Right.
Nobody really shot at them. I just moved from Texas.
They're like, you're so interesting.
Right. I was like, yeah, let's see what this looks like.
Yeah.
That was a moment in time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, it exists.
Yeah.
It happens.
But Deion Sanders pulling this move, I don't know if it's a shame. Like, I don't know how loud the outrage should be. I think it's that weird space of like, it looked like he was trying to start a revolution for like what historically black colleges, football programs could be,
Right.
and the culture, and saying a lot of the right stuff. And then it turned out that wasn't really the case.
Here's my issue with Deion. I don't have a problem with him
Moving
stair
up.
steps. I do not have a problem.
Right.
My only problem is when he came in, he said the thing and said it was about the culture. It's not about the culture if you're ready to bounce for a check. I'll go back to the same shit I said about Walmart. It's not about the culture for me. If
Right.
I don't fuck with Walmart, I don't
Right.
fuck with Walmart. And I tell people that all the time. Like, I don't fuck with Walmart.
Right.
Deion Sanders came in and said, yo, it's about the culture. Come here for the culture.
Yep.
And in doing that, he convinced these boys to come to the school for the culture. And the minute, he was only there for 3 years.
Right.
So the minute that a quality check came through, he was gone. And somebody said to me, like, well, he won the SWAC 2 times in a row. Like, what would you expect? And I'm like, there have been plenty of coaches. I could probably pull up the number of coaches who have won the SWAC twice in a row. I'm pretty sure it's happened before Dion.
Right.
I'm pretty sure those coaches didn't get a call from Colorado.
True.
Colorado didn't call those coaches and say, "Oh shit, you won the SWAC. This ain't the D League." Right? Like you don't become D League scoring champion 2 years in a row.
Right.
This ain't that. These coaches didn't get a look. And I don't think that
I'll say this.
I don't think they're going to get a look. I think that the SWAC is Dion was like this shining star in HBCUs,
Sure.
and I think with him gone, HBCUs aren't going to get the looks anymore. I don't think they're going to still get the looks. I think that
he set it back.
I think that people are going to be like, yo, it's because he talked all that culture talk. Because he talked the culture talk.
Was his contract up or he just bounced? That's one thing I actually didn't look into.
It's college football, so he probably just bounced.
Oh.
Like I'm pretty sure. I mean, you know how college coaches do. The contract is
Yeah.
written in pencil.
Right. That's true. What I was gonna say too is I think though one big thing about college football too is especially with universities is they care a lot about recruitment, and they may have saw not just that he did well as a coach,
Right.
but also how he would go as far as recruiting
Right.
goes.
Right.
Because like you can be a great coach, but if you can't recruit, like
Right.
yeah. So there's that. But I mean, if we're saying that he set back HBCUs, I would agree.
Yeah, I think he's created this wave again. So we'll see. I'm not going. You know, it is what it is. Like
Must be the money. I mean, shit. He said it. He said it. He sang that shit.
he told us. So he told us back in the day. Yeah.
Yeah.
He was also in a thong on Pumps and a Bump.
He was.
He was in a banana hammock
Yup.
with MC Hammer on Pumps and a Bump. So
You
there's
saying that guy don't got scruples? What? Like, come on, man.
for sure. Hey, dude, I don't think I have anything else. You got anything?
Yeah. This is gonna be very small and probably doesn't even matter. You could probably cut it. I feel like Google Maps is getting weird and like bad. Like I feel like I keep getting like multiple routes now that are like taking me more further. Like I don't know if it's getting more complex or if it's getting worse.
I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
might
don't
not
use
get
Google
an
Maps much. I use Apple Maps a lot because I got an iPhone, so which
Bet.
is based in Google Maps, but I don't pay attention. I meant to ask you this though. We briefly talked about this, and we can speed through this. It doesn't matter. We briefly talked about this, and I brought this up last week with Mecca. Female rap. This is not a music podcast, but
Right.
female rap.
Right.
Drake dropped his album with 21 Savage and
Yeah.
took shots
At Meg.
allegedly at Meg and a couple of other female rappers. Should Drake have caught the outrage that he caught, or should Meg and any other rapper that's offended just write a Hot 16 and diss Drake? Here's a question. Are female rappers, are they open to get shot at in rap lyrics?
I'm gonna say no.
Really?
And here's why.
Oh, please tell me.
It goes back to our Eve conversation
Okay.
where I was like, Eve should be up there as a top rapper
Okay.
of all time.
Okay.
But sometimes we have, I say we, and when I say we, I mean hip hop heads, hip hop culture has done this weird ass job of segregating women here
Right.
and then authentic hip hop here. And it's mostly male, except for the few like the Lauryn Hills and a few others who crack into that.
I don't put Lauryn Hill in
I
that.
don't either.
Yeah.
We've talked about
Yeah,
this.
you know my stance on Lauryn
Yeah.
Hill. Yeah. She doesn't have a single hip hop album.
Right.
No, she doesn't have a single rap album.
Right.
Yeah, she does not have a rap album.
What's happened over the last 10 years, though, is that segregated culture still existed, but that segregated culture on this side got way more popular. And,
Right.
And so now it's the dominant form, and now it's like, well, can we take shots at them since they're on top? And I think that's an interesting question. But here's the thing. In my mind, there is some sexism involved because Drake can say what he can say about Meg, and Meg can't say the same things about Drake, and it hit the same. You know what I mean? She can't be like, oh yeah, I fucked Drake, fuck him, he was lame, limp dick motherfucker anyway.
Oh no.
No one's gonna care.
No. I see. Nate and I have the conversation.
Mm-hmm.
The best way to ever shut me up in an argument, he'd be like, yeah, but I fucked. Like if a woman ever says, yeah, but I fucked, exactly. I have nothing at that point.
Right.
Oh, you right.
Mm-hmm.
You right.
Yeah. And then I think, so for Drake to take shots at them, I don't think he has the right. However, I will say hip hop rules determine they should fire back, and actually, no, they shouldn't. They shouldn't say shit because I feel like it's a clout move. Dude rap are now doing clout moves.
Wholeheartedly. I think male rappers are now in the position where, because female rappers are right now running shit, right? I think male rappers are looking for a piece of that. I would say that wholeheartedly. The only reason the only reason women rappers shouldn't shoot down is the same reason Jay-Z didn't take shots at what's the Asian dude who was rapping who had the song "Fuck Jay-Z," but it was like an ode to Jay-Z. Jin. Yeah, but like when you're up here, you don't have to shoot down. The same reason that I say Drake.
Does Meg matter more to the culture than Drake right now?
Does Meg matter more to the culture than Drake right now? Yes. Mm-hmm. I think right now, yes, Meg. But I also think that and here's where I'm hip hop to the core, right?
Yeah.
Here's where Meg is a problem in her own right. Like, instead of responding to Drake on a record, she tweeted about it. She said some shit like, yo, y'all think this shit is funny, but I got shot. Like, yeah, then shit. If you're bothered by what he said, write a nice 16 and come at him, or don't say shit at all. Like, in my opinion, when Joe Budden went after Drake, Joe was a much better rapper.
Absolutely.
Joe lit Drake's ass up, but Drake was smart. He ain't say shit.
Nope.
When Pusha went after Drake, Pusha lit Drake's ass up. He was smart because Drake was here.
Yeah, at that time, yeah.
And they were here.
Yeah.
Like they were.
There was no question.
They were throwing rocks up.
Yep.
When Meek Mill went after Drake, Meek
he was up, but
he was up, but he was up high enough that Drake was like, "Oh, I'm gonna crush him," and and let's be clear,
that was the smart move.
Right.
Out of the three, that was the smartest move.
But in that space, if Meg is up here, then don't shoot down. But also don't even if you're not gonna shoot down, just be like, yo, let the world say he's lame. You don't have to come at him and say he's lame.
Is she saying something about being shot though, like as a way of not normalizing it?
Yeah, but see,
I'm just asking.
Here's what I say. In hip hop, everything is fair game.
I kind of agree, but I will say this. Because there's also weirdo hip hop fans, I'll call them, where say someone like Ja Rule, right? The Ja Rule 50 era.
Right.
People were taking sides.
Right. Yeah.
Which is stupid. To the point where, like, yeah, there's people who are saying, like, well, I want to see Ja Rule or Cadillac Ta or Black Child get shot.
Okay.
Over this shit.
Right.
And I think back then, because we didn't have things like Twitter, we didn't have control of it anyway. And 50 specifically and Ja too were both saying these things. But now we live in a space where if Drake says, and again, allegedly, it wasn't aimed at her. But if Drake says something about black women getting shot or anyone getting shot, anyone getting shot in rap
Right.
now. Now you have people online now who mobilize, who hear that shit, and who think it's cool. And like may not take an actual gunshot at Meg, but now may feel like it's open season to be disrespectful because now you've normalized this person being like, oh, this thing that was a traumatic event in her life, let's just act like it wasn't.
But that goes back to what we said earlier about motherfuckers should be slapped in the mouth.
I agree.
Like if you run up on me and say some disrespectful shit, and we can get out of here. Somebody, I saw this. This was a couple of months ago. Jason Derulo was out in these streets, and somebody kept calling him Usher, and he was like,
"Don't run up on Derulo."
Nah, he put hands on a dude.
Yeah,
like,
don't,
like,
no,
like,
I knew. I could tell.
Like, yeah, he was like, "Yo, you gonna catch these hands?" Like, I think that in this situation, either shut up or put it in the music, because the bar came from the music. Like he was.
See, but I think you're playing by old rules. I think you're playing by 2000 at the earliest rules. Because with Twitter now, you can't not talk about it.
Okay.
And this goes back to the Kanye celebrity shit. Look, full circle.
Yeah.
You gotta talk about this shit on Twitter or
Yeah.
wherever the fuck you're at. That's what they do now. You can't not do that. I hate it too, man.
I hate this shit.
I wish it was gone. I wish Elon the worst, and I hope Twitter dies.
Oh, so do I. I saw that hate speech against blacks was up like 200% on Twitter, and I'm like, yo,
Yeah.
that's wild. Anyway, man, thank y'all for rocking with us, dude. Thank you for coming through.
No, it's fun.
Like, appreciate it, man. Like, shit. Somebody was like, who's on today? I was like, oh, Rooster. And I was like, oh, yay. I'm like, really? Like, yay? Man, fuck him. No, but man, appreciate you coming through, man. Make sure y'all like, subscribe, follow, all that shit.
Make sure you at Liquid Death. Tell them to support the pod. Send us free Liquid Death.
Hey, send it to the house.
Man, what's it? I ain't got nothing to promote. We out.
Nothing to promote? Okay, nothing to promote. Shit, we out. Peace out, bitches.